Cancel your wedding, my mom said. The money should go to your sister. When my mom told me to cancel my wedding because my sister needed the money more, I honestly thought she was joking. I remember holding my phone, staring at the message on the screen, my stomach turning. Cancel your wedding, it said. Your sister needs the money for her baby. You can always get married later. I reread it 3 times, waiting for the "L" or the winking emoji that never came. My hands were shaking. Tell me, honestly, what would you have done if your own mother told you that your dream wedding didn't matter because your sister messed up her own life? Would you sacrifice your happiness for family, or stand your ground? The story starts about 2 years before that message. I'd been dating my fiancé, Daniel, for almost 5 years. He's the kind of guy who makes you believe good men still exist, steady, kind, and absolutely hopeless at lying, which I loved about him. We met at a mutual friend's birthday dinner, and somehow we just clicked. Over the years, we went through everything, moving in together, surviving job layoffs, even helping my mom when she got sick a while back. We were solid. When he proposed, it was perfect. Not some extravagant, over-the-top thing, just us on a quiet hill during a picnic, with him pulling out a small velvet box and his hands shaking like it was the biggest deal in the world. My mom cried when I told her. At least, at first. She said she was proud of me, said Daniel was a good man, and that she'd be there for every step of the planning. My dad had passed away a few years before, so her support meant everything to me. But then came my younger sister, Emily. She was 23 at the time, and she had a bit of a reputation for chaos. I love her, I really do, but she was always the kind of person who made impulsive decisions and somehow expected the world to bail her out. New job every few months, different boyfriends, constant drama. My mom always defended her. She's still figuring things out, she'd say. You've always been the responsible one. You understand? So, while I was planning my wedding, budgeting, booking venues, saving every penny, I started noticing that all conversations somehow shifted back to Emily. She'd just moved back home after breaking up with her latest boyfriend, and she was between jobs again. I'd be sitting at my mom's kitchen table showing her flower samples, and she'd interrupt with, "You know, maybe Emily could help with your wedding planning. It might give her something to focus on." But the truth was, Emily wasn't interested in anything that didn't revolve around her. She'd roll her eyes at the word wedding and say things like, "Oh, you're turning into one of those brides." Then, 3 months before my wedding, Emily dropped the bomb. She was pregnant. The father, a guy she'd been seeing for 2 months who was already out of the picture. My mom's reaction was not what I expected. Instead of being upset or worried, she went into full crisis manager mode, talking about baby names, baby showers, nursery themes. It was like Emily had done something magical. Suddenly, I wasn't the big event anymore. Every conversation, every family gathering became about Emily's pregnancy. I tried to be understanding. I know pregnancy can be hard, especially alone. But what I didn't expect was that my mom would go from supportive to demanding in a matter of weeks. The day it all came crashing down was one of those moments you never forget. I just finalized the catering payment. 5 zizos, a huge chunk of our savings, and my mom called me. Her voice was calm, too calm. "Honey," she started. "I need to talk to you about something important." I remember sitting on the couch, smiling, thinking maybe she wanted to go dress shopping or something. But then she said, "I think you should cancel the wedding." At first, I laughed. "Very funny," I said. "What's next? I should also hand over my dress to Emily because she's bored." But she didn't laugh. "I'm serious," she said. "Your sister's going to be a single mother. She doesn't have a job. She doesn't even have money for rent. You and Daniel are already living together. You can get married anytime. But she needs this money now." I froze. My mouth went dry. "You're joking," I whispered. But she wasn't. "You're her sister," she continued. "You've always been the responsible one. Don't you think it's your duty to help her through this?" My duty. That word made me furious. I had been helping my family for years. Financially, emotionally, constantly cleaning up Emily's messes. I took care of Mom when she was sick. I paid for repairs around her house when the roof leaked. And now she wanted me to just give up my wedding. My dream day, for Emily's mistakes. I told her no. I said, "Mom, I love Emily, but this isn't my responsibility. She's an adult. I've worked hard for this wedding. And Daniel and I paid for everything ourselves." My mom's tone turned icy. "You're being selfish," she snapped. "Family comes first." After that, things got ugly fast. Emily called me crying, saying Mom told her I chose a party over my niece's future. She wasn't even sure if she was having a girl yet. Then she posted this vague status on Facebook. "Some people care more about themselves than helping family." Sad. My phone blew up with relatives messaging me. "Maybe you could postpone? It's just one day. Think about your sister." Even Daniel's mom called to ask what was going on because she saw something online. I was humiliated. That week, I didn't sleep. I kept going over it in my head. Maybe I was being selfish. Maybe I could downsize the wedding. But Daniel was my rock, he said. "If you give up your wedding for them, where does it end? Next time it'll be your honeymoon, then a house deposit. They'll always want more." And he was right. But still, I couldn't shake the guilt. So I decided to meet my mom in person to talk things out. We met at her house, and the moment I walked in, I could tell she was ready for a fight. Emily was sitting on the couch, her arms crossed, looking smug. Mom started right away. "We've been talking, and we think it's best if you help your sister out financially. You don't have to cancel everything. Just give her the money you were spending on the reception." I stared at her, stunned. "The reception is the wedding, Mom," I said quietly. "That's where everyone's coming. That's what we've been planning for a year." She just shrugged. "Well, then you'll have to do something smaller. Maybe a courthouse wedding." I looked at Emily, hoping she'd say something. Maybe tell Mom to stop, that it wasn't fair. But she just looked at her nails and said, "It's not my fault I got pregnant. Things happen. You're lucky you even have the money to spend." That was it. I stood up, grabbed my bag, and told them I was done. I told my mom she could come to the wedding if she wanted. But if she kept pushing this, she wouldn't be welcome. A few days later, she sent that text again. "Cancel your wedding. Your sister needs the money." That was the last straw. I blocked her number for a week because I couldn't deal with the stress. But the drama didn't stop there. My aunt called me, saying Mom was telling everyone I abandoned my pregnant sister. Emily started a GoFundMe page for expecting mothers in crisis and hinted that her own sister refused to help. I was mortified. So that's the situation I was in, and I had to make a choice. Before I tell you what happened next, I want you to pause and comment below. What would you have done in my shoes? Would you cancel your wedding to help your sister? Or stand your ground even if it meant tearing your family apart? After that week, I decided to protect my peace. Daniel and I agreed to go ahead with the wedding, just smaller. We cut the guest list and reduced the decorations, but we were determined to make it happen. I sent invitations to everyone again, including my mom and Emily. No response. A week later, I got an email, not from Mom but from Emily, saying, "Don't expect us there. We can't celebrate when our family is falling apart because of your selfish choices." I cried that night. I really did. But I also realized something: love isn't about giving until there's nothing left of you. It's about boundaries. The wedding day came. It wasn't the massive event I'd once imagined, but it was beautiful. My mother didn't show up. My sister didn't either. Daniel's mom helped me into my dress. My best friend walked me down the aisle. When I saw Daniel waiting for me, smiling like I was the only person in the world, I knew I'd made the right decision. We laughed, we danced, and for one night, I didn't think about the drama. I just thought about us. A few months later, Emily gave birth. I didn't hear about it from her directly. I found out through Facebook, where my mom had posted pictures captioned, "Our little miracle." No mention of me anywhere. I sent a gift, a small blanket, a card, but got no reply. I didn't expect one. I knew our relationship had changed forever. But then, about 6 months later, I got a call. My mom was crying. Emily had moved out, left the baby with her, and said she needed break. I felt this mix of sadness and anger. After everything, I still went over there to help. I held that baby, my niece, and something inside me softened. I told my mom, I'll help you take care of her for now, but I'm not fixing Emily's choices anymore. It took time, but eventually my mom started to see things differently. She apologized, not fully, but enough. She said she was wrong to put that kind of pressure on me, that she let her fear of losing one daughter make her push away the other. I appreciated it, but things were never quite the same. Now, 2 years later, Daniel and I are doing great. We bought a small house. We visit Mom sometimes, and I babysit my niece occasionally. Emily still drifts in and out of everyone's lives, always chasing the next big thing. But I've learned not to get pulled into her chaos. Looking back, I still wonder how things could have been different if I'd given in. Maybe Emily would have still left. Maybe my mom would have still blamed me. Or maybe I would have ended up resenting them both forever. Either way, I chose myself, and for once, I don't regret it. So, what do you think? Was I wrong for refusing to cancel my wedding for my sister's sake? Do you think family obligations should come before personal happiness? Like this video if you were on my side. Subscribe for more real life stories like this, and let me know your thoughts in the comments below. I'm genuinely curious. What would you have done? Thanks for listening, and I'll see you all in the next story.